friends. We are in the season of Eastertide, this time of the Christian year between Easter Sunday and Pentecost Sunday. It is our greatest festival season where we celebrate Jesus' resurrection for 50 days. And we are going to look at the stories from Scripture of Jesus' appearances, the times that he visited his disciples after he died and rose again, and they came to know him in a very new way. Now let's get ready. Our lesson today is from Luke 24. Early on the first day of the week, after Jesus died, the women returned to the tomb, and they brought with them the sweet-smelling spices. They brought the spices with them because they wanted to finish preparing Jesus' body for burial, even though it was hard. Mary Magdalene seemed to be the leader, and as they walked along, they talked about how they would roll away the stone so that they could wash and care for Jesus' body. But when they got there, they saw that the stone had already been rolled away. And as they peeked in, they saw two who seemed to be men dressed in sparkling white. And they said to them, "Why are you looking for the living among the dead? Jesus is gone. He will meet you in Galilee. Go and tell the others." And as Mary and the other women looked into the tomb, they saw that this was true. Jesus was gone. Truly, truly gone. And so they went back to tell the others, and nobody really believed them, but Peter, being Peter, got up and ran to the tomb, and John followed him. And when they got there and looked in, all they could see were the linen cloths. And Mary also came back weeping. And then when they left, Mary stayed there, and she saw someone, and she thought that he was the gardener, and she said, "Please tell me where you've laid him." And he said, "Mary." And in that moment, she knew that it was Jesus. And she must have stepped towards him because he said, "No, you can't hold on to me now, because I have risen, but not yet ascended. Go and tell your brothers. I will meet them in Galilee." And so Mary ran to tell her brothers. Jesus was risen, truly, truly risen. And that same day, two of the disciples were walking to Emmaus, which is about 7 miles outside of Jerusalem. And as they were walking, they were talking about all the things that had happened with Jesus' death and the women who said that he had risen again. And then Jesus was with them, but they didn't recognize him. And as they walked along, he asked them, "What are you talking about?" And the one named Cleopas said, "Are you the only one in all of Jerusalem who doesn't know about the things concerning Jesus of Nazareth?" And so he told them about Jesus and how he had taught and lived and died. And then how the women said he was risen again, and how they had gone to the tomb and found nothing. And some believed and some didn't. And they were wondering about these things. And then this person they thought was a stranger said to them, "Are you so foolish? Don't you know the scriptures and the things they say about the Christ?" And so he opened the scriptures to them, reminding them about how they were lost in Egypt and how God had sent them through the waters to freedom, and how they were lost in their freedom, and God sent the 10 best ways, the 10 commandments, to show them how to live. And how the prophets had said that a child would lead them, and then the Messiah would have to die and would be risen in 3 days. And about that time, they were coming close to the village, And he was going to go on, but the two asked him to stay with him. And so the three sat down to supper together. And as Jesus picked up the bread and held it and blessed it, suddenly they recognized him in the breaking of the bread. And in that moment, he disappeared. Now I wonder, what is your favorite part of these stories? I wonder if there's any part that you especially like, and maybe you'd like to draw or paint or write about. I wonder if there's anything in your home that seems like it should go with these stories. Maybe something in your home that reminds you of the empty tomb and the women's surprise and delight. Or something that reminds you of the disciples and how they knew Jesus in the breaking of the bread. I wonder if you have anything at home that seems to go with these stories. I wonder if you can imagine what it was like for the first disciples to begin to know Jesus in this new way. This is how we know Jesus as well. The risen Christ with us, but in a way that's mysterious. I wonder if you might like to do some art about that. Jesus, help us to know you and to love you and to come close to you during this Easter tide. In Jesus' name, amen.